Hello everyone, welcome to Data for BI. Today we are going to discuss the question which is usually asked for a data analytics, the person who works as a SQL developer or any reporting tool. So this question is how to calculate the current and previous year's sales but by passing user input. And the experience level for this question usually the intermediate or more than that. So let's jump on a SQL and let me show you first what database we are having over here. So to work on this problem, so I have database that is e-commerce. So you can have anything. The most important part over here is you should have a table where you have a date and some sales amount like those columns. So over here, you can see I'm having order table. So when I open this order table, so you will find some columns which is definitely useful for this. So always remember whenever interviewer asks a question, usually break that question in multiple, subsets so that you can reach to your final output. You cannot directly jump on the question and start solving this. So basically the question is all about how to calculate the current and previous year sales. And for that, there is a function, the analytical function that definitely we can use, that is a lag. Lag is a function which provides us the facility or functionality, we can say, where we can get the value of previous row. So we can access the entire row and we can pick up the any specific value. Now, let's run few queries on lag function so that we can understand this function better. So I'm writing a lag, let's write in capital letter, then the column which you need to be output of from the lag function. So here I'm using a total amount and you need to use over clause and should be like maybe on order date, order by order date as previous total amount. Now let's run the query. So this is the syntax where you need to provide the column name and then you need to have the over clause that is mandatory and the other stuff that is order by clause, and then you need to give a proper alias. So let me run this. So you can see that I just ran the query and you can see this output. So over here, if you see this, you will find that here it is null because this is the first record. So there is no previous record, so that there is a null. But after that, from the second record, you can see over here that is the total amount column of value of previous row will be in the next row like this. The 440 is in next row. Then 1863.40 is in the next row like that. So this is what lag function can do. So it is accessing the previous row and whatever column we have provided over here, that is available to us now. So this is how we can use the lag function. So over here, not only order by, but you can, group by the, not group by, partition by, by any specific column like customer ID and then order by. That is also you can use. So you can run the query and like this. So you can see. So over here, there are a record like, so for this customer, it is, before this, there is no value. So it is null. And then the previous total amount column got over here like this. Then the record for a second customer, right? Similar thing. For third customer, again, the similar thing. Now we understood that how we can use the lag function. But again, we need to jump on the actual question. So over here, we need to calculate the current and previous year cells, and we have to pass the user input to it. So it is all about, we need to calculate over here the total sales as per year, not as per date. So let's do that. So what are the columns we are looking for over here is the order date, and then I think the total amount. These are the only two columns we need. So let's remove all other columns. Okay. Now over here, if you see, we are having a date, but we need a year, right? So we are having another function that is year. So this function helps us to get the only year extracted from the date. So year, okay. And then we need a total amount for that year, right? So what we need to do is, we need to sum of amount. This is total amount year. Now for now, let's comment this and let's run this query. Okay, so we need to write a group by, because we are grouping the value and we are having an aggregate function over here. So you can see, so we got the amount for the specific year. So let's calculate the previous year total amount. We are already having a function that is a lag function written over here. Let's remove the partition by, because we are no more going to use the customer ID here. So this is our query. So this query, if we go forward and just execute, it is not going to work, right? Because that is invalid, because we are having some select clause that order date should be in a select clause like that. So just we need to correct it. So again, we need a previous year total amount. So we can add a sum over here like this, and then we need a year over here, right? So we need a total sum against the year. When I execute this query, so you will get the value which we are looking for. So like this. So what we see over here, the year, that the total amount for that year and then previous year. Again, the year, the total amount, and the previous year total amount, like this. So you can see over here. Now, the next step is to pass the user input to this. So we can pass the user input from any UI or anything. We can have a store procedure, and that store procedure can have a parameter, and we can pass parameter as a year to that store procedure, and we can get the result. So the store procedure part definitely we will cover in the next coming videos. For now, let's declare the variable. One variable as a int. We can give it a value like 2030. We are having a variable, consider it as a user input, right? Because we cannot develop the complete UI over here and then we pass the value, but the logic which we need to return into the SQL side, that definitely we can implement here. So like this. So we cannot go as straightforward, write this. If you see this, if I write the where clause and then year and order date, right? I can pass this parameter here and we can try to get the result. When I run this, it is not going to give you anything, because let me correct this. Okay, so let's see. So, but where is the previous value? There is no, it is not reading the previous value. The reason behind that is you have applied this where clause to the actual query where you have calculated the lag function. So what is going to happen over here? We are having a 3 rows, right? Which we have saw in the last query. So when you filter that, so you will going to filter the only single row, and on that row, it is going to find out what is the previous year value total amount value. So that's the reason you are not getting any value. Even you use the 2014, you will not get that null. So for that, we can use a CTE with clause with year cells as, and we can get this result inside the CTE and remove this where class from here. Select star from year cells. So once you do this, let's check the output of this. You got the values over here. So this is the city is nothing but the way to keep your data for your temporary purpose. That CTC part we are going to finish in our upcoming sessions. Let's complete the remaining query. And at last we have to apply the filter because we are going to get a user input. And that user input we have to use in our query so that we will get the current year and previous year value for a specific year, which user going to pass. So I am having year, date, and then input. You can see this is the desired output we were looking for. So what we got over here is the current year and previous year cells as per the user input, and this value can vary. You can change it to 2012 and you can run 13, you can run 14, you can run like that. So sometimes when you answer this question, so user, the interviewer asks you like, can you calculate the percentage of sale increase or decrease like that? So as per that, you can do some modification in query. You can do like this. So for example, if I do this, let me remove this. So we are having the entire output, and if I need to calculate the percentage increase or decrease, so what I can do over here is, so the total amount years minus previous total amount and want into 100 as percent. Now let's run this query. Now can you see this? Whether so over here is obviously we are going to get is null because we do not have anything to compare with. So over here you can see that 190% increased from previous year, and here it is decreased by 28% like this. So once you know that how to calculate the previous year and current year by using the lag function, you understand that how lag function works. So you can modify the query as per the interviewer question. So guys, that is all about this question. Thank you very much for watching this video.